What's up out there? It is story time. So in yesterday's video, I showed off my caustic arrow build that I got to the mapping section of the game. And as some of you rightfully pointed out, I was using lightning damage in my bow and it wasn't required. Now, here's the story behind that. I couldn't figure out why I had lightning on there, and when I ran across it in the build guide, as I was following the build guide, I saw the lightning on there and I thought, well, maybe they're doing it for shock damage or something like that. I totally ignored it and moved on. What you're looking at here is the exact same build that I followed, but this is the Affliction League version of that build. Now let me give you the story of how the build that I'm following came about. There are two types of build testing that I will do. Number one, I will test a build in the middle of a league or something like that. I'll try out different stuff. Like I tried a Pyroclast Miner one time. I tried out a Tornado Shot. I tried out Exsanguinate last league, I think, at some point. Like I tried different builds out. And for that type of testing, which is what this character here is, it's just a proof of concept, if you will. I go find a guide that I like. There's a million different variations of almost every different build that's out there. So I just go find one. I might try it, get it through the campaign a little bit. If I don't like it, I'll delete the character and start a new one and kind of run through. I just want to make sure that the skills, that I understand how to put the build together, because some I don't have that knowledge yet. And I want to make sure that I understand how the skills work and how the gear is supposed to work. Like the magical side of things is a little bit far away from me. I'm more into melee and stuff like that. So transitioning over into melee and evasion, and I'm getting more into ranged builds and stuff like that. So it's kind of an evolving process. But anyway, the whole point of this is to try out different builds. And there's a lot of times that I will try a build, go for a little while, delete the character and move on. If I can get it into mapping and it stays fun, and I think, okay, cool, that's a build that I want to continue forward with, I do. And that's where this build came from. This build is level 89, so this has got some time spent on it. Now, this build is a little underpowered. I knew that. But again, this was a proof of concept in the middle of a league idea. The other kind of build that I do is a league start test. At the end of at the end of Crucible League, I put together a really crappy Righteous Fire build. I didn't play much of Crucible League, but I did a league start test for Righteous Fire and then started in Ancestors League with Righteous Fire. Same thing at the very end of that league, I started Bone Shatter and then started Bone Shatter in the next league. And then at the very, and so on. So basically, for this league here, we're in Necropolis League. At the very end of Affliction League, I started working on my Exsanguinate concept. And I did two variations of it. I ended up doing a few other variations I tried here and there, and I ended up deleting some of the stuff. But long story short, I did not league start test this build. And you'll notice that I said this came from the middle of Affliction League. That should explain to you exactly why I had lightning on that bow and exactly why lightning was in that build guide. Because when I got the build for this a month or two ago, well, it'd probably be 2 months ago now, probably. I think it was probably February or something like that. We're in April, so it was probably about 2 months ago. When I got that build, when I downloaded the POB for that, I knew that it was based around tinctures. And that tincture that all damage can poison, that's why there was fire, lightning, and chaos damage on the bow that was in the guide. This bow here has elemental because I couldn't roll it without it, but I got poison damage and chaos damage. It has fire, but I didn't intentionally put fire on here. This one has gain 16% of fizz as extra chaos. My quiver is not that great, but it's the quiver that I got running. Obviously, it's only 5 links on this. I really didn't get to spend a whole lot of time on it, but I did have the snakebite mitts to use. So I had a kind of a half-assed process, and this is a fast build. Like, I really liked this. It was fun to play, and it surely had its issues. It had a little bit of damage issues to it, but this is also based on This is the same exact tree that I was following on the passive side. Like, this was the exact same thing. This is the exact same build, except when I did this with the intention of not using tinctures. Number one, I didn't care for that Wildwood Ascendancy. But number two, I was planning ahead and thinking I should build this without tinctures in case I want to league start it next league. Now, that was 2 months ago, and I completely forgot about ever doing this. So that is why I had lightning on that bow, is because I didn't actually league start test this. I only did the proof of concept test part. And because I had been using this, I thought, hey, it's all good. And then I just league started with the build that you saw. So hang on, let's switch over to the other one. Now, this is my new, I've switched over from Caustic Arrow to Toxic Rain, but I now have, this one's got cold damage, which it doesn't need, but this bow is a 4-link. This actually came out of the graveyard. This one's got damage with poison, all that kind of stuff on it. My quiver's got chaos damage. This is the proper build that it's supposed to be. Now, this is a new build. This is completely different than the Caustic Arrow build that I was doing. I did not particularly care for Toxic Rain myself, but this one's got Toxic Rain on ballistas, yeah, with the ballista totem. So the thing I liked about that Caustic Arrow build is that it did not use a totem at all. It used Mana Forged Arrows to do its thing with all the extra stuff on there. This one does use that, so I'm gonna give this one a shot and see how it goes, and we're gonna deal with this the way it is. But this is the new build. I've actually changed. I have to regret orb a bunch of stuff away. Like, I had to take a few things out of here, and then there was some other stuff that I regret orbed a whole bunch of things off of this side here. Like, Inveterate stayed, but then I think like Fatal Toxins I think that might need to go. Maybe this Clever Thief, I can't remember. Some of the stuff that's along the side, like I didn't get to finish this one here. Master Fletcher was on there. I think we had multi-shot. So I regret orbed a bunch of stuff away, but I didn't have enough regret orbs to take it all away. So I was able to come over here and at least path in this direction and start taking some of the stuff that I need to. So it's not a complete build by any means at all, but it's in a much better place. So we now have Toxic Rain on right click with actually somewhat decent damage, and then Toxic Rain on the totem side over here. This build also has Despair, Phase Run, Steel Skin, and Withering Step. I'm not really used to using all of those. One thing I did try out was this Automation Gem. I don't have enough sockets to take Despair off of it, or I don't have enough stuff to unlink this. I tried, but I could only get one unlinked. So Automation is linked up with Withering Step, so Withering Step goes off when it comes off cooldown, so we're trying that new thing out. But I couldn't get, Despair was the one that didn't work with Automation, so I don't have enough currency to change any colors or fight with any of this. So basically I had to put the one that would link up but not actually link to it. So I've got this. It is a much better build. What's this map going to be? Area of Effect. Let's see here. We'll drop that down. Oh yeah, jeez. Boy, this just does not, this does not get, okay, this might be a little bit rough. I am still learning Toxic Rain. I do not particularly like a build where you have to shoot something up and wait for it to come down. I am not a fan of that. I'm just not very much of a fan of this. And I'm still trying to get my, the key, not the key binds, but the key progression, whatever you want to call it, like how you press buttons and how you make things happen. I'm still trying to get that down. So I may not actually finish this map with this. I don't want to like just spread this entirely. The build's working. Let's just say that. You can see it's doing its thing. It's not necessarily the best. I need a lot. I have horrible resistances. I'm surprised I'm not dying more. Quite honestly. Yeah, see, my resistances are terrible. I have sort of okay fire resist, but the problem is all my gear is just crap gear. I think I got to do 5-link on this and a new 4-link on for the chest piece and a new 4-link here. I just kind of made what I could out of it. I kind of spent some time in the campaign for a little bit so that I could level up all these gems, because I had to bring, like, Withering Step was new, Automation was new. Let's see here. I had to add Clarity was new. Mirage Archer I had at one point on the other one, but it's Void Manipulation was new. Steel Skin, Phase Run, like some of these I just never had before. So I needed to level all those up. So I just wanted to do a video today real quick to show this off really quickly and show that, yeah, okay, cool. Thanks for the, I do appreciate the feedback. I just did not catch that. I totally forgot about not league start testing this build and just doing a quick test. You know what I mean? Like, I totally forgot about that. I'm glad you guys said something, because I don't know when I would have caught that, but it's better to catch it now at the very early part of the league so I can really fix it up now. Like I said, I don't have enough currency to really fix anything with it. So basically what I did is I got this into as good a shape as I could do, and then I switched over to Exsanguinate. So let's go over there real quick. Now this side of the house is going much better. We are level 76 right now, and I have a 6-link. I dropped this thing earlier today. I don't remember what I was doing, but it dropped off. I was like, hell yeah. So I slapped it right on here, got the coloring right. Within a couple of chrome orbs, I had the coloring perfect. This is exactly what this build calls for, with 3 reds, 2 blues, and a green. The build was calling for Swift Affliction, but I think I prefer Chain Support on here much better. Swift Affliction does a little bit faster for like a single target maybe or something like that. But for mapping and clearing, Chain Support's the way to go. So yeah, I got a 6-link on here. And I think everything else is pretty much the same. So let's go back into that same exact map. And of course, this is much, much slower. I don't have very good movement speed with this. But this build here uses Whirling Blades. And I think the concept is that you run Corrupting Fever, and then the Whirling Blades is set to life tap, so it actually builds up. It keeps the Corrupting Fever. Well, that's not a very good. I was totally not paying attention. That's not a very good start. Anyway, I'm sitting here bragging about my 6-link and all how good it's been, and now it's just not that good. I've actually been not running Corrupting Fever all that much. The problem when I run it is it drains your life immediately, and I don't have enough life regen to handle that yet. So typically I can just run in here and just blast everything off and melt everything's face. This is normally what I'm used to. But occasionally I get into a big thick pack or something. And then we've got that Reaper, or Reap, whatever it's called on here. That is really nice. I've started using that in a combination. Now I mentioned earlier that I tried 2 different builds out, and I mentioned this when I was talking about this in the Exsanguinate build the other day, in a couple days ago video. But one of the combinations that I tried had you switching out gems as you went, and this one actually used both gems at the same time. So you're basically doing, you have Reap in your toolbox, and probably I would imagine it's going to run in Enlighten or something. So you can just drop a Reap out here as you need to on a single target. And one of the other guys that I've been following, he's been swapping back and forth. So he'll throw a Reap out and then do an Exsanguinate and then a Reap and an Exsanguinate or something like that. So I've been trying to tinker around with it just to see how things work. Exsanguinate is really good on clear, and having that chain gem sitting in here is fantastic. That makes this pop so much more. Like, it'll reach around corners and just decimate things all off in distance. You know, if there was something around this rock, it'll actually reach around the rock and just annihilate all kinds of stuff. I love it. I love this skill. The giant blood splatter that comes off and just wastes everything in front of it is great. That's as a horror fan, I just love this. I love it. So yeah, that is let's see if I can not die here. I need to see if I can get Need to see if I can get that that curse back on here. I can't remember what it's called. I've got it on my other build. Now I'm running out of life. Need to get away from this thing. My character's so slow. Well, that worked out. Wasn't pretty, but it worked out. I also need to get regen. A lot better regen. I don't have a immortal flesh yet, but I think I'm good on, yeah, I'm decent-ish on resistances. I've got a long way to go with both of these, but I haven't, you know, as soon as I completed the campaign with this build, I basically started the next build and brought it through the campaign. So I've really not done a whole lot with mapping. I will point out that I have gotten quite a few maps done. We've got 14 nodes in. The other thing too is I've started going into, I went into essences here, and I've actually started tracking up to go over here to the Kirok missions. I went around this way. I think long term, this will probably be better for me, because I do want to end up over at Extreme Archaeology, which is just right up here. If I come up through the middle here, I'm going to have to cut over. So I'm just kind of playing it by ear right now. This is probably physically resistant. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that right now. I could probably do the poison build over there, or the toxic rain. If it was a little better, I'd probably try it, but it's a little too weak right now. I need more life gain on hit or something like that, or leech or whatever, regen. I need to get some stuff done. I need better gear. I've been saving up these coffins and everything, trying to go get some other gear. I wanted to go tinker around a little bit more with that. I just haven't got there yet. I have not been killing the bosses on a lot of these. I've been trying to level up. So instead of trying to kill the bosses, I've just been going through and doing leveling and trying to get gear, trying to get stuff out of the levels. Map, trying to generate maps, trying to generate currency, whatever else can come along. So, yeah, much better today. I've got a few more deaths today than I had yesterday, but definitely getting a lot more done. Things are looking a lot better. Got my other build squared away, because once you guys pointed out that I had the wrong thing in place, it was kind of a no-brainer. Not necessarily a fan of Toxic Rain itself, but is what it is. So, a little quick update today. That will do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.